What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give you my favorite waiver wire pickups for 10, 12, and 14 team leagues. So sit back, open up your waiver wire, and get ready to add some of these players. Remember, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and before we jump into this video, make sure you take a second to listen to our video sponsor. Introducing the new sponsor to our channel, we're talking about a brand new daily fantasy props app, ThriveFantasy. Use code FP100 and receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 and 2 free $20 contest tickets. That's code FP100, receive a 100% deposit match and 2 free contests. The first waiver wire pickup for week 17 is Ceci Puljujarvi of the Edmonton Oilers. A super up and down season for him, and honestly, the Oilers' entire roster has been a dumpster fire. But the new coach has shed some light on some of these top 6 players. In last night's game, Puljujarvi was on a line with McDavid and Hyman, along with what seemed to be the net front presence on Power Play 1 for Puljujarvi. This is where we loved him, and honestly, he was a drop when he was skating on the third line and the second power play unit. Nevertheless, this spot is where he'll flourish, and Edmonton's 5-game schedule this coming week makes the case for picking up Puljujarvi even better. You can expect some solid shot and hit numbers, along with some fairly high point upside given the opportunity. I love Puljujarvi this week. He should be available in 10-team leagues at just 44% ownership. Because of Edmonton's 5-game schedule this week, we want to target yet another player in their top 6, Zach Hyman. As I mentioned in the Puljujarvi bit, Hyman skating on line 1 with McDavid again. Similar to Puljujarvi, Hyman has been up and down the lineup, but for now we see him on the top line, and his value really won't be any higher than it is in his current role. He hasn't been too bad this season. 14 goals and 27 points, including almost 100 shots. The shot volume's there, and with the increase in minutes and opportunity with playing with McDavid, Hyman should have no problem finding the back of the net this week. He's owned quite a bit more than Puljujarvi. I'm not entirely sure if fantasy owners have held on to him, but in 10-team leagues, there is a chance you could scoop him up on your waivers. Remember guys, Edmonton has a 5-game schedule this week, making Hyman an extremely valuable play. The final player for 10-team leagues for this week is Taylor Hall of the Boston Bruins. Not really a big fan of Hall by any means, but the opportunity this week seems worthwhile. Marchand has been suspended for 6 games and Bergeron's out this week, meaning Hall will see a huge jump in minutes. In the first game of their absence, he saw his minutes increase by about 15% to 1730. He should see over 18 minutes per night until Bergeron and Marchand return. He's skating on the top line and the top power play unit, and Boston's 3-game schedule this week makes Hall a very intriguing pickup. Just 10 goals and 31 points this season, but his 9.1 shots per 60 is enough to get me excited, and hopefully with the increase in playtime and opportunity, he can see his offensive numbers rise. Hall likely has the most ownership of these 3 players mentioned, but if he is available, I would add him for this week. We're sticking with the Chicago Blackhawks because of that juicy 4-game schedule, and the next waiver wire pickup is Connor Murphy. One of the more valuable waiver defensemen for bangers leagues, Murphy's in a good spot this coming week. He's been blocking pucks like crazy, 118 blocks in 44 games and adding 96 hits. If you need a defenseman to boost your peripherals this week, Murphy is your guy. His minutes are solid, skating on the top pairing with Jones. Murphy has played over 23 minutes in 4 of his last 5 games. He will continue to see big minutes while hopefully recording over 10 blocks and 10 hits this week. I love Murphy as a player, and for your 12-team leagues, this is a perfect week to add him to help with your peripherals. The final 12-team league player for this week is actually the only goaltender of this video, Stuart Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers. Now, goalie options are really bad this week, but if you trust Edmonton as a team, Stuart Skinner could give you some pretty good value. The Oilers do have 5 games, including 3 against some average California teams in LA, San Jose, and Anaheim, where I think Edmonton will be favorites. You can't expect much from Skinner, just a 23-year-old goalie with only 12 games under his belt. His short NHL stint has been decent given the defensive problems that Edmonton does have. He holds a 5-6 record, a 908 save percentage, and a 285 goals against average. Definitely more of a streamer play if you do need a start. Make sure you're checking to see which goalie will be starting for the Oilers this week, and add Skinner when it's his turn to start. Moving on to the 14-team or deep league pickups, we're starting off with yet another Edmonton Oiler, and that is Cody Ceci. I never thought I'd be recommending Ceci, but the Oilers do have a pretty hefty schedule this week, and some of my viewers are in really deep leagues and actually find some of these players valuable. Not a flashy defenseman by any means, but with the absence of Duncan Keith this week, Ceci looks to be in line for some pretty big minutes. In Edmonton's last game featuring no Keith, Ceci played over 26 minutes and managed to score along with having 3 hits. You can expect some all-around peripheral upside and opportunity to put up some points. Again, Ceci's not the flashiest player, but the 26 minutes per night that we could see is really intriguing. Finally, the last player and the other player for the 14-team league waiver ad for this week is Peyton Krebs of the Buffalo Sabres. The former 17th overall pick, Krebs was a big piece in the Jack Eichel trade, sending him from Vegas over to Buffalo. After putting up a solid 15 points in just 18 AHL games, Krebs has been called up and has actually been playing a decent amount of minutes. In his last 5 games, Krebs has played over 18 minutes 3 times, including a healthy amount of time on the Sabres' top power play unit. The Sabres are not the best team by any means, and this is actually a good thing because Krebs won't really have much competition. He's more of a points league player as his shot volume and hit volume is pretty lackluster. We have gotten lucky this year with rookies, adding Boldy at just 2% ownership, so hopefully we can find another gem in the rough with Peyton Krebs. That'll do it for our Week 17 must-add waiver wire players. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.